Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes.
Welcome back to another episode of BMSL. I am your host, Ghost, and today we're covering some of the major news that is coming out this week, including Joe Biden pardoning his son after he said he wasn't going to do it. And recently, as of yesterday, the United Health CEO actually passes away, and he was actually, murdered because of maybe a retaliation or something like that. I don't know. We'll get into the video, but it looks like it was planned and it was intended for him. He was lying in wait. It's a whole bunch of crazy stuff. We're going to tune in to CNN to actually get some more info on this story. And we're also going to actually look at two different set of videos and we're going to react to them. One from The View and then another one from CNN as well, with a guy trying to walk back his words after he reassured the country that the president was not going to pardon his son.
We have some breaking news. CNN has obtained new surveillance video from the fatal shooting of the United Healthcare CEO. And we do want to warn you that the video is, of course, disturbing.
CNN Bryn Gingras joins us. Bryn, take us through this video.
Yeah, Phil and Brianna. So we are only showing a few seconds of this video that CNN obtained, obviously, because it is very alarming to watch. Essentially, what we see in that video is the CEO, United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, walking toward the hotel here behind me, and behind him comes the suspected gunman that police are still searching for. So you could see how he approaches Thompson from the back. Before then, where we freeze the video, he fires those shots at Thompson. What you do not see from these 5 seconds, and I can tell you, is that we also see someone sort of running the opposite direction. So that is something, of course, that police are going to be looking into in this video, breaking it down frame by frame by frame to kind of figure out who might have witnessed this. They, of course, are going to want to talk to anyone who might have witnessed this. Again, it happened at the really front step of this entrance of this hotel, so there's possible some security there as well. And then, of course, follow the path of that gunman. As we already have learned, he flees from the scene, going down a back alley behind a theater that's across the street from the hotel where we are, and then hops on a bike where they basically lose his trail in Central Park. So again, we know that police are offering a $10,000 reward for any information that's going to help find this suspected gunman, but that manhunt is underway after this brazen shooting in Midtown Manhattan, guys.
The gentleman knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly where he was going. He knew exactly where his target was at. And it looked like a coordinated attack on this gentleman for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was a migrant crisis. Maybe it was a personal vendetta, but this guy knew exactly what he was doing. I mean, look at him. Like, his hood is covering his face completely. He had a colored backpack on. So, and that probably was a message to somebody else. Whoever hired this gentleman to do the job, he said, hey, word something distinct, so that way we know it was you. He probably said, okay, I'll wear this type of backpack. And now that he has completed this, I think that they're getting him out of the way. I don't know for sure, guys. This is all just speculation, right? But again, he rode a bicycle. He knew New York City. And that's the key. He knew New York City. So he has to be somebody who's familiar with New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, anything like that, because New York has the most cameras in America. So he knew where all the cameras were. He rode a bicycle, so no license plate readers could actually catch him in the act or after the act of doing this. Okay. Interesting stuff. We'll actually hear some more developments in the probably the next coming weeks. But our main topic today is going to be Joe Biden pardons his son. This is a huge news, right? This is huge news because he says, personally, I'm not going to pardon my son. I don't think that, me pardoning my son is a good look for the Democratic Party or for the nation as well. Now, personally, listen, he's a weak president. Okay, so you can only take his words with a grain of salt. He's a professional. He's a politician. Let's just put it like that. He's a politician, so he's going to say exactly what you want to hear in order to garner support, right? And that's exactly what he did. When this news broke, there was huge uproar. I mean, huge uproar. The View was shuffling. CNN, the producers on CNN was trying to figure out what to do and what to say. I mean, it's hilarious. It looks bad, but it's hilarious, guys. So let's take a look at the first video. It's going to be CNN talking to a guy who actually reassured the country that Joe Biden would never do anything like pardoning his son. Let's take a look at it.
I mean, you went out on a limb backing up Biden when he said that there would not be a pardon. In July of 2023, just after that plea deal fell through, this is what you said. I want to watch.
Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him. And I think you see that in this case, where he kept on, and Merrick Garland kept on, a Trump-appointed U.S. attorney to investigate the president's son. If there is not an indication of the independence of the Department of Justice beyond that, I don't know what we could look for.
What does that feel like, watching yourself back then, reassuring people that Biden was not going to issue a pardon for his son?
Yeah, and I think that if that plea agreement and that plea deal had gone through, there would be no pardon. That was a satisfactory outcome.
It had already fallen
that
through.
Only was. Sorry?
When you reacted, this was when the deal had fallen through. And I hear what you're saying about the Kash Patel appointment, but, you know, you took him at his word. So what does that feel like, knowing that he's gone back on it?
Well, as I said, I'm disappointed that after the plea fell through and it became clear about why it did, including Republican congressional intervention in this case, which made this case very unique and very different from any other case. I think that we all, perhaps I should have as well, recognized that this is not the normal prosecution. I said many times that if Hunter Biden were not Hunter Biden, he would never be charged with these crimes. And when you start to see what Donald Trump is planning to do with his Department of Justice and with his FBI, and the degree to which Hunter Biden has already been shamelessly attacked as a private citizen by Republicans, I certainly understand why the president felt like this miscarriage of justice should not carry forward, and that he should not be at risk of retributive prosecution for political reasons, which is not the proper way to execute our rule of law.
Super funny stuff. Like, I don't know if it's just me or what, but this is hilarious to actually see them shuffle and try to come up with arguments to support what they said in general. Now, the next one I want to show you is of The View. Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Holston, I believe her name is, and then there's two other ladies on the panel. Now, these ladies are well known to be against Trump and everything that he stands for, and they are not going to tell the objective truth. Now, regardless of what Joe Biden said, they're still going to make excuses, but I still want to react to, in particularly, Whoopi Goldberg kind of shuffle her way into an explanation. Let's take a look.
Is there any possibility that the president would end up pardoning his son?
No.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. It's still a no. It will be a no. It is a no. And I don't have anything else to add. Will he pardon his son? No.
Does the president have any intention of pardoning him?
We've been asked that question multiple times. Our answer stands, which is no.
Yesterday, Biden had a change of heart, granting his son a full pardon on tax evasion and federal gun charges. He released a statement that, quote, says no reasonable person who looks at the facts can reach any other conclusion than Hunter was singled out because he is my son. That is wrong, and there's no reason to believe it will stop here. Now, I hope Americans will understand why a father and a president would come to this decision. So the question is, will people understand? Listen, I get it.
Now, as you can see, I had to take off my glasses for this. I had to take off my glasses for this because Whoopi is shuffling.
I mean, we got a convicted felon as president.
It is funny to me because the courts actually dropped the felonies that were on his record, and the person who's actually contributing to this and brought this to the Supreme Court is actually dropping the case and resigning. If I can find a screenshot, if I still have the screenshot, I'll put it up on the screen so that way you guys can see.
Yes, yes. Yes. It's hard for me to... Yes, say it. Yes. And, you know, and I know that you know who's been asking, you know, are you going to pardon the January 6th folks? Actually, probably not. But I kind of feel like I look at the list of folks that you know who pardoned during the first term. He granted 237 acts of clemency, 143 pardons, and 94 commutations, including Michael Flynn, Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Charles Kushner, Steve Bannon, George Papadopoulos, Albert Pirro, and Lil Wayne.
For every single thing that Joe Biden does, it always has to contribute back to Trump. Listen, I want to call out people if they do wrong things, period. But contributing everything back to Trump, now, come on now. We could do better than that, right? And I even took off my glasses because I want you guys to actually see my eyes and what we're talking about here. Listen, if we're having a candid conversation and we're talking about politics and we're holding people accountable, no other person's name should be in front of the congregation except for Joe Biden. But they can't do that. It's similar to a child when they get in trouble, right? The child will say, no, I didn't do this. No, I didn't do this. But the teacher calls you and says, hey, listen, your kid just cussed me out and hit another student, right? But when that kid gets home, he's going to say, I didn't do that. I don't want to whoop and then da-da-da-da-da, making up tons of excuses. This is what I see from Whoopi, right? There's a famous saying, right? And I can't remember where I got it from. I think it was CGA who told me it. Women are children with breasts. Okay? Now, I don't know if that's all the quote there is. But listen, this activity right here that we just saw is children or childlike behavior. Not taking accountability, not taking responsibility, and really just blaming others for their actions. Okay, that's pretty much all the news that we have for today, guys. If you like this, like, comment, and subscribe if you've gotten value from this. I love doing these type of breakdowns, man. It's more free. I like to have a little bit of fun with you guys, and I want you guys to see what I'm seeing and what's in the news today, because I still believe here at BMSL, even though our saying is standards over status, we need to be living that, right? We need to have a standard for our life, and we need to keep up with the news and how we're living, because anything could change at the drop of a dime. And when that happens, we'll be here to report on it and to talk about it as well. Until next time, guys, I love you. I appreciate you guys. It's always fun rocking with you. I'm out. Peace.